everyone, Paul Stoner here, CEO of Biggin & Scott. I'm joined today by our salesperson of the month of November, by Ray Corris from the Central Victoria office. Congratulations, Ray.
Thank you very much, Paul.
And first time here, so
yes.
Yeah, and it's been a lot of things happening at Central Victoria, hasn't there?
Yeah, it certainly has been. It's been very busy in the last 10 months since Biggin & Scott has been operating there.
Yeah.
Particularly the last few months, and this was, I suppose, the result of a very busy spring sales period. And it came as quite a shock, but really appreciate the acknowledgement.
Oh, no, congratulations. Yeah. It's all your work.
Oh, well, great
we're
chance
we're just the armour, all the fight's in you. So tell us a bit about your story, the Ray story.
Well, about 25 years ago, my husband and children decided to move to the Dalesford area, and we bought a 20-acre bush block there and built our home where we still are.
Yeah.
And I was operating a graphic design and architectural drafting business at the time in conjunction with my husband, between part-time work in Melbourne.
That's why you and Michael get on so well.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of a background in architecture there, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And one thing led to another. I was doing brochures for local businesses, one of which was a local real estate agency.
Yeah.
And really enjoyed that, part of the world. And one thing led to another, and sort of started in sales with an independent agency about 13 years ago.
Right.
And just grew from
Was
there.
that John?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, John Evans, real estate. He'd established the business there.
Yeah.
And when he retired at the beginning of this year, Michael, James and Fran came in as the new Biggin & Scott owners there. And it's a great little business, love it.
So, the changes that you've seen since rebranding to Biggin & Scott and coming along to our training, and I remember when I came down and did the induction, you were really motivated because you're like, it's all help and access to tools that I've really been looking for. Has it been a good thing for you?
Absolutely, Paul. It's I think it's certainly added to the experience that I had, being able to sort of tap into great marketing campaigns, and the services and the systems, the reporting. Got on track with that now. Great to have that sort of structure behind me, I think. But it's it's a really good little business. Michael and James and Fran have assembled a really great team. We're really enjoying each other's company. We've sort of learnt everyone's personalities, skills.
And it's ongoing.
It is, and it's it is. It's a great team. All the admin, property management, support staff as well.
And the Central Victoria. We'll talk about Dalesford in particular, where you're at the moment, but. It's a fairly, I'm learning, a fairly dynamic sort of market. There's a lot going on in Dalesford all year, because I expected it to be quiet in winter, and it was busy in winter, and now it's summer, and you're saying people are turning up now, expecting their, so to be really busy over the break.
Yes.
And there's probably similar to me, where they go down a couple of weeks prior, set up for the break. So what will happen over that Christmas period for you guys? You're in and out?
We are. Michael and I will be manning the office over that Christmas to New Year period. It is still a very good time to meet people. A lot of people have got leisure time to be able to sort of come in, research properties, meet agents. So it's important that we're there and available for our vendors and buyers. It's a little bit quieter probably just around the new year, but then mid-January, once solicitors, banks are sort of all back, full swing, the buyers are, sort of there again. So and new listings coming on too.
And you were telling me just before we started that there's lots of buyers around at the moment.
There is, yes. No, it's been a very busy, start to December. Normally it's a little bit quieter, right now. But it's we've got a very diverse market, with certainly so many different styles of properties. Cute little miners' cottages, and some really grand homesteads.
So 20 acres.
You've got. 20 acres. And then big farm properties as well. So. Any day, we can sort of be out and about in all sorts of different properties, and I've got the wardrobe of shoes in the back of my car to match it. Well, for every occasion.
Galoshes.
Yes, that's the one. So, and likewise, very diverse vendors and buyers coming to the area for lots of different reasons.
So just on the vendor side, because being salesperson of the month, they ought to know how you do it. What can a vendor or a client expect when they come into contact with you? So if someone was listing with you, how do you like to handle the process?
Oh, look, it's really about, I suppose, breaking down that barrier that a lot of people have got when they first meet an agent. They're doing the interview process and deciding who to use. Not not sort of base it purely on the financial side of it, the you know, the commissions and the expected or the market appraisals. Local experience is very important in our area. Knowing how to present the property, you know, to the types of buyers that we've got coming in as well. A lot of buyers coming in don't know what they want. You know, they might sort of feel that they want 5 acres but end up wanting 20. So you know, you've got to sort of be thinking on our feet, you know, quite a lot, knowing our portfolio of properties quite intimately. Communication, absolutely, in you know, for both vendors and buyers. You know, guiding them through, you know, not just the marketing and the sale process, you know, the services and the backup, and you know, making it an easy transaction for everybody. You know, I sort of know that, you know, if there's little speed humps that appear, if you don't iron those out, then you're just heading for trouble, you know, further down the settlement time.
So Ray, usually there's one place in particular that stands out over the last quarter or month even that you thought was a terrific sale or you did a great job. Is any standout for you at the moment? Yes,
well, I've just recently listed a property in Glen Lyon, a little village about 10 minutes northeast of Dalesford, property 24 Barclay Street. Listed that about 10 days ago, had very, very good inquiry levels of it. It was listed at 535,000, which, you know, we thought, okay, we've got a little bit of a buffer in there to play with. We had some good comparables on that one. And yeah, I think 4 or 5 groups through the first weekend, and an offer on Wednesday that was accepted. So owners delight. The houses.
So how many days on market?
Barely 8.
Wow.
Yeah, so very, very pleased with that result. Sold at listed price.
Yeah.
And beautifully presented property. It was just a great relationship with the vendor.
Yeah.
You know, the team just really came together well. So it was a very satisfying one. Yeah.
It's good when that happens.
It is, yeah.
It's always good when that happens.
You just know you're doing it right.
Yeah.
As well.
So there's a few things in common with most of the people that sit at the table, and they like to make the process as simple and basic as they possibly can.
Yeah. I think
and
very important.
Then over-deliver.
Yeah.
So you're a pretty easygoing sort of person. You can see you're very professional.
Yeah, thank you.
You know, so you look like you enjoy the job.
I do, yeah. Really love what I do. Can't say why I really ended up in real estate. It was really just sort of a slow introduction, I think, through that design and architectural side of it. But you know, knowing the area, getting to know people, meeting so many of my vendors and prospective vendors, you know, just socially as well. I mean, you know, half my business is done in the local supermarket. I think just sort of saying hi to people and. You know, the inevitable question of how's the market going and what's my property worth these days, but being invited to come along. There's quite a long lead up time sometimes from a market appraisal to actually listing a property, but that's, I think, very much indicative of the sort of relationship you can have with your vendors.
So is the phone your friend in that situation, or is it the email?
Yeah, both. Yeah. It's important to sort of, I think, keep the communication varied as well. You know, there's, I suppose, some etiquette in responding in how you've been contacted, but I think, you know, a personal contact sort of can speak volumes too.
Yeah.
In that regard.
You're probably just walking up and down the main streets. Your database.
That's
communicate with the
database.
Yes, they're all in the street.
Yes, well, we're located right next door to the news agency, and I think the running joke in the office is it can take me an hour to go to the news agency to get a paper.
Yeah.
Catch
well,
up with
that's a great thing. It obviously works for you. You're a good communicator.
Yeah. No, it's sort of enjoy what I do. I think it's important to, you know, spend time with buyers as well and listen to what they're looking for. Quite often they don't know what they're looking for, but it's about you know, checking out style, price, obviously, all those things.
So do you find they've done their research before they arrive in town, or they arrive in town and think, now's the time to start looking?
A bit of both. You know, websites obviously give buyers, you know, a lot of information about the style of properties, but it's about the actual experience, I suppose, you know, coming into the town where you've got smaller town blocks. Some people are looking for that wide open spaces, you know, no traffic noise, so we know we're sort of stepping out of town a little bit more at that point. It's, you know, it's a really fun part of the job, you know, it's just sort of creating those relationships because they're ongoing as well. You know, there is a turnaround in our market, I suppose, of, you know, people coming in at various times for different reasons, and as life changes, children grow up, you know, they're looking to move on again, so it's, you know, it's a great compliment when those clients come back.
Well, as a town, Dalesford that is, it offers a lot of variances. You go there in winter and you've got all the colours of the trees, and back in summer it's a bit cooler, and it's a beautiful, beautiful spot. What are you expecting for the market 2015?
I think we're going to keep growing, very strongly. One of the big market growth areas in our area is residential buyers coming in. I've noticed that over the last couple of years. We've had...
So they commute?
Yes, yeah. A lot of people, we've got fast internet in Dalesford now, so a lot of people are able to work from home as well.
Yep.
Prior, over the last 10, 12 years, I've noticed we'd been relying mainly on investors and weekend buyers, the occasional residential buyer.
Yeah.
Now we're getting a very strong growth with young families coming to the area and early retirees as well, and that's really sort of changing the dynamics of the town again and the services that are being provided. Yeah,
and if you've got all those the buyers sort of backing up at the moment, it's just a matter of properties coming to market. And
it is, yeah.
It's really interesting. And your goals for 2015?
Look, I think sales-wise, certainly, this year has been very strong. I'm sort of averaging probably over the last few years, 30 to 40 sales a year. This year, I'd say I'm well on track for above that. Yeah. And I don't sort of, I suppose, analyse the figures too much. James is our stats man.
Until you have to sit in front of someone like me.
That's right, exactly. Yes, I'm putting my notes.
What's my figures?
But look, certainly, I think just with the increased presence of Biggin and Scott there as well, it's a network that's familiar to a lot of our vendors who are not
interesting, isn't it?
It is.
We underestimated that.
Well. No, it's great.
Yeah. And for those of you watching, when you go into Dalesford, you'll see the boards up. You'll understand that you're probably getting towards 40 to 50% saturation now, I would think.
I think so, yes.
Yeah.
It's very, very prominent. There's 3 agencies based in Dalesford Township, and I think we're pretty right up there. So it's, very, very satisfying to see another board go up and another sold sticker on it.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the best part.
As usual, the people sitting at the table, they enjoy what they're doing, they're good at what they're doing, and they make it easy for people to deal with them. So congratulations, Ray.
Thank you very much, Paul.
Really well done. I'm sure everyone at Central Victoria is very proud of you.
Thank you.
And hopefully you're back at this table pretty soon.
I hope so, yes. Maybe set a precedent now.
Cheers, everyone.
Okay, thank you.